Today's class is on balancing redox equation by oxidation number method and ion electron method.
Today we are discussing about how you can balance a redox reaction. First part is balancing redox reactions by oxidation number method. This is the reaction KMnO4 plus HCl potassium permanganate reacts with HCl to form KCl potassium chloride, manganese chloride, MnCl2, water and chlorine. First, I am first balancing this redox reaction and then I am telling that the rules which governs the balancing of the redox reaction. First, we have to find out the oxidation number of all the elements related with this redox reaction. This is +1, this is -2, and if we calculate the oxidation number of manganese, that is +7, hydrogen is +1, chlorine is -1, potassium is +1, chlorine is -1, manganese is +2 and chlorine is -1, hydrogen is +1, oxygen is -2, chlorine is 0. Now among these oxidation number we have to find out which one, the oxidation number of which species gets reduced or decreases, or which species gets oxidized, that means increases. So first I am seeing that manganese from +7 state it goes to the +2 state, and this is the reduction process. This is the reduction process because the oxidation number here decreases. As the oxidation number here decreases, see this manganese here in +7, here manganese in +2. So +7 to +2 number of oxidation number decreases, and that's why the process is called the reduction, and hence we can say that KMnO4 is an oxidant because it itself gets reduced, and that's why it is an oxidant. So first we have to find out the oxidant species, which one gets oxidized, which one gets reduced. First the reductant, this is the reduction process, Mn +7 to Mn +2. So the oxidation number decreases by 5 unit. This is the part first we have to calculate, Mn +7 to Mn +2. First actually we have to balance these, both the sides number of manganese atom must be balanced. Here it is balanced already, but if there are different type of atoms except hydrogen and oxygen, we have to balance all other elements, all other atoms. First manganese balanced, +7 to +2, oxidation number decreases by +5. And here see this chlorine Cl from -1 to chlorine Cl2 0. This is the second case where from -1 it goes to the 0 state, and that's why oxidation number increases. So this process is oxidation, and hence we can say that the HCl hydrogen chloride here, hydrochloric acid here acts as a reductant because its oxidation number, that means the oxidation number of chlorine is increased, that means it itself gets oxidized, and hence it acts as a reductant. Now we have to balance both the side chlorine atom by keeping the left hand side, the reactant, number of atoms of the reactant keeping constant. We have to balance the right hand side atoms. So Cl here 1 atom at the left hand side, at the right hand side we have to multiply with half, that's why it now becomes only 1 atom of chlorine. Now Cl1- to Cl0, only 1 electron transfer, so oxidation number increases by 1 unit. Now oxidation number, we have already considered oxidation number decreases as well as oxidation number increases. Now the number of mole ratio, because oxidation number means number of electron transfer. Oxidation number means oxidation number of electron transfer, already it is calculated. So by multiplying this with the number of moles, we can calculate the mole ratio of different oxidant as well as reductant. So mole ratio of oxidant is to reductant here, just reverse. It is multiplied by 1 and it is multiplied by 5. So 1:5. So now the reaction becomes 1 KMnO4 plus 5 HCl arrow KCl remain unbalanced till now, MnCl2 because it is multiplied by 1, so it is also multiplied by 1, plus H2O remain unbalanced now, plus Cl2, it is half Cl2 now, multiplied by 5, so 5 half Cl2 means 5 by 2 Cl2. This is the equation. Now by multiplying both sides by 2, multiplying both sides by 2 because it is a fractional number, 5 by 2, so it becomes 2KMnO4 plus 10 HCl arrow, it becomes 2KCl, it becomes 2MnCl2, it becomes 2H2O, it becomes 5Cl2. Now balancing all these atoms, we have to balance now number of hydrogen and oxygen atom in both the sides. Here total number of hydrogen is 10. Here also total number of hydrogen is 4. So we have to add extra 3H2O so that total number of hydrogen atom in both the sides are balanced. 3H2O. So total number of oxygen now becomes 2 plus 3, 5. Here it is 8. So 4 to the 8. So oxygen atom is completely unbalanced here. 2 plus 3, it becomes 5, but here it is 8. So if now multiplying with 2, both sides with 2, 2KMnO4 plus 10HCl, arrow 2KCl, 2MnCl2, 2H2O, 5Cl2. Now these chlorine atoms, that means total 10 chlorine atoms at the right hand side is balanced by 10 HCl. But here also by balancing 2 chlorine plus 4 chlorine, total 6 chlorine atoms remain extra in the right hand side, that means in the product side. So to balance this chlorine, we have to add 6 HCl on the left hand side, that means on the reactant side. Now chlorine are balanced, total number of chlorine atoms are balanced on both the sides, potassium are balanced, manganese also balanced. Now to balance the hydrogen atom, total number of hydrogen becomes 16 at the left hand side, hydrogen atom becomes 16, it becomes only 4. So we have to add 12 extra hydrogen atoms so that both the side number of atoms will be balanced. So to make it 12 hydrogen atom, we have to add 6 H2 in the right hand side, then the product side. Now total number of hydrogen is also balanced. Therefore the total equation becomes 2KMnO4 plus 16 HCl, arrow 2KCl plus 2MnCl2 plus 8 H2O plus 5 Cl2. This is actually the total balanced equation. Now first I am discussing about the rules for balancing the redox reactions by oxidation number method. First rule is separately identify oxidant and reductant. Second is change in oxidation number. First you have to calculate. We have to calculate actually. Third, keeping the number of atoms of both oxidant and reductant at the reactant side fixed. Balance the atoms on the product side except hydrogen and oxygen atom. Keeping the number of atoms of the oxidant as well as the reductant on left hand side, that means on the reactant side, must fixed. And with respect to this, we have to calculate, we have to balance the number of atoms of the oxidant and reductant as the product side. Now calculate the mole ratio of oxidant and reductant. 5. Balance both the sides, balance hydrogen and oxygen atoms at last. Now first I am giving an example. P4 plus NaOH plus H2O, arrow PH3 plus NaH2PO2. This is the general equation. We have to balance this by oxidation number method. First we have to write all the oxidation number of all the elements. P4, that means this is the element 0, sodium is plus 1, oxygen is minus 2, hydrogen is plus 1. Here hydrogen also is plus 1, hydrogen is plus 1 and oxygen is minus 2. Here hydrogen is plus 1, minus 2, but the oxidation number of hydrogen and oxygen are not changed here. pH3, phosphorus is minus 3 and hydrogen is plus 1 here, not 0. Here hydrogen is plus 1, but sodium is plus 1, hydrogen is plus 1 also, oxygen is minus 2. By calculating the oxidation number of phosphorus, we get plus 1. Now see that phosphorus from 0 to minus 3, P4 to P minus 3. Now oxidation number decreases 0 to minus 3 and hence it is a reduction process. How much it decreases? First we have to balance both the side number of atoms of phosphorus. See that on the left hand side there are 4 phosphorus atoms. So we have to write 4P minus 3 on the right hand side. Oxidation number decreases by per phosphorus atom decreases by minus 3. So for 4 phosphorus atom decreases by 12 units. Now at the right hand side in case of reduction, this is the 12 unit oxidation number decreases. Now in case of oxidation, see this P4 converts to NaH2PO2 in which phosphorus is in +1 state. P4 to P +1. We have to balance the phosphorus on both the sides. Left hand side contains 4 phosphorus atoms. That's why you have to multiply 4 by 4 with the phosphorus atom on the right hand side. So total oxidation number becomes +4. Here it is 0. So oxidation number increases by 4 unit. This is the oxidation. Now first equation, which is reduction, see that 12 unit. Second equation, which is oxidation, see that change in oxidation number by 4 unit. So multiplying first by 4 and second by 12 and adding these two, we get, see this, 4P4 multiplying 4, 4P4 plus multiplying 12 with this, 12P4 plus NaOH, which remains unbalanced, plus H2 also. Arrow, see this, 4pH3, so multiplied by 4, it becomes 16pH3 plus 4p, that means 4 NH2PO2 multiplied by 12, so 48 NH2PO2. Now see this, 16p4 divided both sides by 4, by giving 4, we get 4p4. It remains unbalanced NaOH. Suppose it remains unbalanced NaOH plus H2O divided by 4, because we have divided both sides by 4. 4pH3 becomes 4pH3. 48 divided by 4, it becomes 12 NH2PO2. Now we have to balance both the sides, the oxygen atom as well as hydrogen atom. So how many number of hydrogen atoms at the right hand side? See this, 12 plus 24. That means total 36 hydrogen atoms at the right hand side. Here only 12 hydrogen atoms, because there is sodium, only 12 sodium atoms at the right hand side. So to balance this sodium, we have to multiply 12 by sodium hydroxide with sodium hydroxide, so it becomes 12 NaOH. Now how many hydrogen atoms are there? 12 hydrogen atoms. But here 24 plus 12, 36. So to balance the hydrogen on the left hand side, we have to multiply 12 up with H2O. That means left hand side is total 12 H2O. Now oxygen atom also is balanced, 12 oxygen plus 12 oxygen, 24. Here also 24 oxygen. So this is the method through which you can balance a chemical equation by oxidation number method. First, write this reduction part and oxidation part separately. Find out oxidation number decreases by how much unit, the oxidation number increases by how much unit, which one is reductant, which one is actually where the reduction takes place, that is the oxidant, where the oxidation takes place, that is the reductant. So now balancing both the sides just by actually method of elimination. First multiplied by 4, second multiplied by 12, total is this. Now dividing both sides by 4, which is the HCF, 4p4 plus NaOH plus H2O, first remains same, and then divided by 4, 4pH3 divided by 4, 12 NH2PO2. Now phosphorus are balanced, but to balance this sodium, 12 sodium, we have to arrange the left hand side 12 NaOH. Now to balance the hydrogen atom, total hydrogen atom in the right hand side is 36, so it becomes 12 plus 12 H2O. Now it becomes 36. Now balancing redox reactions by ion electron method. Second method is ion electron method. See this, first I am giving an example, K2Cr2O7 plus H2SO4 plus H2S, arrow K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4O3 plus AS plus H2O, potassium dichromate, sulfuric acid, H2S, hydrogen sulfide, products are potassium sulfate, chromic sulfate, sulfur and H2O. First, we have to write the ion reactions, ionic reactions. Potassium plus remain unchanged in both the sides. So dichromate, this is the dichromate anion which takes part in the redox reaction. Cr2O7 2 minus, arrow Cr3 plus, Cr3 plus. Now first we have to balance the number of chromium atom in both the sides. Here in the left hand side, number of chromium atom is 2. So right hand side multiplied by 2, that means 2 Cr3 plus. Now for oxygen atom, in case of acidic medium, this is an acidic medium, for each and every oxygen atom in the left hand side or right hand side, whatever may be, in the reactant side, for each and every oxygen atom, we have to multiply or we have to add 2H plus and to balance it on the opposite side we have to add 1 moles of water. So for 7 oxygen atom multiplied by 7, so it becomes 14H plus and it becomes 7H2 on the opposite side. Now ions are balanced. Now to balance the electron, right at the right hand side equal to left hand side, right RH equal to LH. To balance this electron, see that total number of charge 2 minus, that is minus 2, plus 14, that is plus 14, plus let we have assumed that on the left hand side we have to add the number of electrons or subtract the number of electrons on the left hand side. So let we have assumed that x number of electrons will be added, x equal to, so to balance the total charge, x equal to plus 3 into 2, because the water has no charge, so plus 3 into 2, that means total plus 6. By equating these two we get x equal to minus 6. How can we get x equal to minus 6? Because we know that electron has only minus 1 charge. So minus 1 into 6, that means electron into 6. So we have to add 6 electron on the left hand side. This is the balanced equation. And see this, electron is added with the reactant, and that's why this is a reduction process. Spontaneous midterms, we don't have to memorize which one is reductant here, which one is the oxidant here. But spontaneously it comes which one is reductant here. It is the reduction process. That's why dichromate is acts as an oxidant here. This is an oxidant because it itself gets reduced and oxidizes others. See this H2S. H2S converts to sulfur first. Now a number of atoms of sulfur are both on the both sides are balanced. So to balance the number of hydrogen atom, again the rule is that to balance the hydrogen atom, to balance the oxygen atom, we have to add H plus on the left hand side and on the right hand opposite side H2O. Now to balance the hydrogen atom, we have to add only in case of hydrogen, we have to add H plus on the opposite side because this is an acidic medium. So in case of H2S, for 2 hydrogen extra atom, we have to add 2H plus. Now the ions are balanced. So we have to balance the charge. Again we can write that right hand side equal to left hand side, and the total charge on the left hand side left hand side equal to right hand side, left hand side equal to right hand side. This also becomes left hand side equal to right hand side. So now in case of left hand side total charge becomes 0, but in the right hand side this is 0 plus 2 into plus 1, that means plus 2. So plus 2. So we have to add some x on the left hand side so that the reaction is balanced. Therefore x equal to plus 2. How it comes? That is minus 1 into minus 2. So minus 1 is the charge of electron into minus 2. That means it contains minus 2 electrons. So on the left hand side we have to add minus 2 electron. That means electron is subtracted. So it is an oxidation process. And that's why H2S acts as a reductant here. H2S acts as a reductant here. Itself gets oxidized. Now, oxidant as well as reductant are find out. Now, see the number of electron transfer. In the left hand side, 6 electron transfer. In the right hand side, 2 electron transfer. To balance this through the method of elimination, number 1 equation is multiplied by 1 and number 2 equation is multiplied by 3. Now, by adding these two, 1 into 1 plus 2 into 3, by adding these two, we get dichromate plus 14H plus, because it is multiplied by 1, plus 6 electron, it is multiplied by 3, so plus 3H2S arrow, it is multiplied by 1, 2Cr3 plus 7H2O plus, it is multiplied by 3, so 3S plus 6H plus 6 electron. From both the sides 6 electrons are cancelled, so number of electrons are cancelled here. So by cancelling the number of electrons we get Cr2O7 2 minus 14H plus and is at the right hand side 6H plus. So subtracting this we get 8H plus. Electrons are already cancelled, plus 3H2S arrow, 2Cr3 plus 7H2O plus 3H, because hydrogen atom has transferred already, hydrogen ion. Now by writing this total equation we get Cr2O7 comes from K2Cr2O7, so K2Cr2O7 plus 8H plus comes from 4H2SO4, because 1H2SO4 gives 2H plus, so 4H2SO4 plus 3H2S arrow, K2SO4 remains unbalanced, K2SO4, Cr2SO4 whole 3 already it contains 2 chromium atoms, so we can write Cr2SO4 whole 3 plus 7H2O plus 3S. Now see the total hydrogen atom as well as oxygen atom are balanced in both the sides. So this is the balancing redox reactions by ion electron method. So the rules of balancing redox reactions by ion electron method, the rules are: number one, first write the ionic equation at first. Ionic equation, whatever may be the equation, you have to write the ionic equation, because ion electron method only ion takes part in the redox reaction here. Number two, identify the ions which get oxidized and get reduced. In our previous case, dichromate anion actually get reduced and H2S gets oxidized. First we have to identify these. Number three, balance the ion. In case of acidic medium, add 2H plus ion for extra each oxygen atom at the same side. At that side where the oxygen atom remain in excess, per oxygen atom we have to add 2H plus at the same side and 1 H2O at the opposite side. Per oxygen atom we have to add 2H plus at the same side and 1 H2O at the opposite side. In case of hydrogen extra, in case of add H plus for extra each hydrogen atom at the opposite side. So hydrogen atom, suppose hydrogen atom is excess at the left hand side, then we have to add 1 H plus at the opposite side per hydrogen atom, excess hydrogen atom. But in case of alkaline medium, for each extra oxygen atom add 1 H2O at the same side and 2 OH minus at the opposite side. Add 1 H2O where the number of oxygen atom remain in excess, add 1 H2O at that side, at the same side, and add 2 OH minus at the opposite side. Now for each extra hydrogen atom add OH minus at the same side. The side at which the hydrogen atom remains in excess, we have to add 1 OH minus per hydrogen atom for per hydrogen atom and add 1 H2O at the opposite side. Now hydrogen and oxygen are balanced. Now ions are balanced. So you have to balance the equation actually balance the electron in both the sides. Now electrons are balanced then, so you have to balance by writing left hand side and right hand side and the graph by balancing the x, finding the value of x. Equating is our equation is balanced by method of elimination to balance the electrons in both the sides. So now we have to balance the number of electrons in both the sides. By using the method of elimination, we can balance the equation in this method. Now we are discussing practical portion related with the practical portion, the part which is related with the practical portion, concept of millimole and milliequivalent. What is equivalent weight? Because we know that already molecular weight of a substance, we can calculate the molecular weight. Atomic weight of a substance, we can find out the atomic weight. From the periodic table also you can find out the atomic weight with the respect to the position. But what is equivalent weight? We know that equivalent weight is the amount of substance which comes into the reaction if or whenever it is combined with other atoms or from some atoms it is derived. So equivalent weight is completely related with the chemical reactivity of the atom, not with the simple molecular weight or atomic weight. So that's why instead of molecular weight or atomic weight, we have to use the equivalent weight in case of calculating or balancing the chemical reactions. So without balancing a reaction, only by finding the equivalent weight, we can find out how much of a particular substance can be oxidized, can be reduced in such a redox type reactions. So what is equivalent weight? Suppose in case of carbon dioxide, C plus O2, during the formation of carbon dioxide, C combusts with oxygen to form CO2. We now know that 12 gram of carbon combines with 32 gram of oxygen. So the ratio is 12 is to 32, that means 3 is to 8. Again, carbon plus 2H2 combines to form CH4. Again, 12 gram of carbon combines with 4 gram of hydrogen. So the ratio is 3 is to 1. So the minimum amount of carbon comes into the reaction is 3. The minimum amount of oxygen comes into the reaction is 8, and that of hydrogen comes into the reaction is 1. So these are called the equivalent weights of the substance, equivalent weight of the respective element, COH. Now for an element we can calculate the equivalent weight of an element by using this equation, equal to A by V. This is the equation, equal to A by V, where A is the atomic weight of a substance and V is the valency of that substance. So by finding these relations, we can find out the equivalent weight of a substance. Again, with respect to hydrogen, oxygen or chlorine, these are the standard in case of finding the equivalent weight of a substance. So one part of hydrogen or see this, 2 is the molar mass, 2 gram is the molar mass of hydrogen. So one part of hydrogen means near about 11,200 cc at STP of hydrogen can combines with the part of the substance or releases from a compound is called the equivalent weight of that substance. So we can calculate the equivalent weight of an element with respect to one part of hydrogen or 8 parts of oxygen or 5600 cc at STP of oxygen or 35.5 part of chlorine or 11,200 cc of at STP of chlorine. So with respect to either of these three, we can calculate the equivalent weight of an element. Now, if we want to calculate the equivalent weight of a compound, then we use this formula. Equivalent weight of that compound equal to molecular weight divided by n factor. Now, what is the n factor here? We know that n factor for an acid, suppose we have to calculate the equivalent weight of an acid. So in case of an acid, the n factor is the basicity of the acid, and we know that what is basicity? Number of replaceable hydrogen atom. This is the basicity of an acid. Number 2, in case of a base, this is the acidity of a base. Number of OH minus ion. Suppose in case of HCl, the basicity is 1. In case of H2SO4, basicity is 2. H3PO4, the basicity is 3. But in case of base, suppose in case of sodium hydroxide, the acidity is 1 because it contains only one OH group. In case of calcium hydroxide, the acidity is 2 because it contains 2 hydroxyl group. In case of aluminum hydroxide, the acidity is 3 in case it contains 3 hydroxyl group. But in case of salt, if we want to calculate the equivalent weight of salt, then this is the n factor is the number of cation or anion, anyone, either cation or anion, into its valency. This is the formula to calculate the equivalent weight of a salt. Now, in case of a redox reaction, if we want to find out the equivalent weight of a substance, in case of redox reaction, the equivalent weight, the n factor is nothing but the number of electrons transfer. So this is the actually method to find out the equivalent weight of a substance.